And the greatest fight of 2025. Now, this definitely belongs to Diego Lopes when he was taking on Gene Silva. The one thing about it, and you've got to look at going into this fight, Diego Lopes didn't belong there. Diego Lopes didn't belong there because he was coming off of a loss. Like, losers fight losers and winners fight winners. And everybody knows that. I don't make these rules, but these are the rules. This is the way this has always been. Losers don't return to main events. Just for example, if you lost, you're not going to come back in your next match in a main event. So the mere fact that Diego Lopes was here, then it turns out that he's got a headline noche, and it turns out he's got to do it against Gene Silva, who's coming off incredible victories. Not just victory, incredible victories, like what he did with Bryce Mitchell. That was just most recent. Gene Silva has been looking great in the UFC. It's Gene Silva's first taste in a co-main event spot, and it turns out that they not only got a sold-out house, they got to take that sold-out house and they got to go head-to-head with Crawford versus Canelo. So there's a lot on it. I mean, the politics and the fairness of MMA would really blow your mind, because there are a lot of politics and there's not a lot of fairness, but it still exists. And if you have a show that bombs, regardless of the fact that you went head to head with Canelo and Crawford or not, it's not going to have anything to do with it. It's going to be your name on a marquee. Here's the numbers that you brought in. That's the way that life is going to go. So I bring that to you because there was going to be a tremendous reward to the winner of all of this, and that winner ended up being Lopes. And a lot of you thought that the reward was too strong. But when you thought the reward was too strong, I don't think you took the time to learn what the stakes are. And the stakes were very high. Not returning to a title shot, period. Not returning to a main event, period. Losing a head-to-head battle. Losing viewers and eyeballs and attention and day after headlines, all being captivated by a completely different sport on a completely different network. I mean, there was a lot of things going into this. And so when you have this type of fight where they both come out and they brawl to that level, you know, when they fight each other to that absolute level, all that grit determination gets used, and you have a winner in the form of Diego. You've got to do something with him. Something has to happen. It was a big surprise that Diego went from that one win to a world title shot, but I don't think it's as big of a surprise if you stand back and you look at what happened. If you stand back and you really look at what he went through and what he overcame, who he went through and who he overcame against, I think if you look at it from that perspective, that you do quickly understand that something very big was warranted. And as far as the way that those guys fight, I've heard that called a real technical brawl before. I don't see brawls as technical, so I don't know that I can give it that term, but I do agree with the aggression. I do agree that it was one switch and they both had it, and that switch was on. And they were going forward and they were looking to finish fights. It felt terrible for Gene Silva when he lost, just because of the heart that he showed and the effort that he displayed in the match. I like guys like that to win. I look at guys like that as winners. So I don't love the fact that we have to say that he lost the fight, but those are the rules. The rules are very, very strict. So that fight is my number one fight of all of 2025. Guys, I hope that you enjoyed this list. I appreciate you all being here. I am going to be back on Friday And on Friday, I'm going to bring you the top 5 fighters to look out for in 2026.